What's good, y'all, and welcome back to Courtside Chats. The NBA Finals are finally here, and we're getting a matchup between the Celtics and the Mavericks. This is not what I expected, so without further ado, let's just get right into it. The Kyrie and Luka train isn't ending here, y'all. The Mavs are headed to the NBA Finals. I can't lie, I was not expecting this at all, especially after Minnesota beating them in Game 4. I thought that Minnesota had some momentum going and that they were going to win Game 5. That is not what happened at all. Luka came out right out the gate with 20 points. They had almost a 30-point lead at halftime. The game was crazy. And then Luka went on to win that MVP. And I think the breakout star of this series was Daniel Gafford. And I think the Mavs did their big one, building around Luka flawlessly. Kyrie also had 36 points. They are looking good, and I can't wait to see how they match up against the Boston Celtics. I'm honestly glad, though, that the series ended there because now they have a full week to prepare to face Boston, a really good team coming out of the East. So now it's going to be a little bit even when it comes to the rest. So it worked out for the best. I just want to say this is not the end for Anthony Edwards. I don't want to see everybody switching up after they were calling him Michael Jordan last week. What he did in this postseason was still super impressive, and I love the way that he took accountability and said, look, I'm gonna have to train better next season to go into a season that's longer and go into the playoffs for longer, because you could tell Ant was getting tired, and at this point he's still young and still has a lot to grow, and we saw the Minnesota Timberwolves grow a lot as a team during this postseason. So I think it's very possible to see them make another run next season, and it took a lot out of them beating the Denver Nuggets. So I don't want y'all to switch up on Ant just yet. His time is just beginning. In last night's game, you could see how bad Ant wanted it. He had 28 points. He was absolutely playing his heart out, but you could see when he accepted that this game just wasn't theirs. I think ultimately he fell short, but the effort was there. Going into the finals, I want to talk about the big matchups I'm looking forward to, and the main thing is what everybody is talking about. The two dynamic duos going against each other, the Mavs backcourt and the Celtics front court. You got Jason and Jalen versus Luka and Kyrie. A lot of people aren't talking about the fact that I'm looking forward to see how Boston defends the Mavs, because Kyrie and Luka are a dynamic backcourt, but I want to see if, the all defensive players, Derek White, Drew Holiday, can take over this matchup with Kyrie. And then on top of that, with Luka, we saw Jalen Brown be the primary defender on Luka against the Mavs all season. I'm interested to see if they're going to keep it that way or if they're going to try maybe putting Jason Tatum on Luka, because listen, the Mavs lost to the Boston Celtics twice in the regular season, but Luka still got his. So they might need to do something a little different, because I feel like Luka's going to be coming different in the finals. And then on top of that, I think it's really important to see how the others of Boston go against the others of the Mavs. You got PJ Washington going from the Hornets to the finals. Will he be able to keep this up? And then Kristaps Porzingis, can he stay healthy? They are going to need him in this series because size is going to be a difference maker. And Kristaps Porzingis, now mind you, I'm not saying he has the most deep in the playoffs experience, but he has a lot of experience in comparison to the bigs on Dallas. So I think that that's going to be interesting to see how they match up. And if they don't have Porzingis, I don't know how this is going to look for the Celtics. Well, that's all for this episode of Courtside Chats. I want to know who y'all got in the finals because I'm still making up my mind. So let me know in the comments.